What's up, guys, and welcome to my review of the Catamount Fury II shotgun from Century Arms. This Chinese-made shotgun, which is obviously based on the popular AK platform, has been a lot of fun to shoot. It's been pretty darn reliable, and it's got some pretty interesting features that you want to know about. Stick around for the full review. Catamount Fury and Fury II shotguns from Century Arms are some pretty interesting semi-auto shotguns that are hitting the market right now. They've been on the market for a little while actually, and if you're interested in some kind of a semi-auto shotgun like this, now might be the time to act on it. It looks familiar, doesn't it? It looks kind of like your old Vepers and perhaps Segas. It's not really compatible, at least from magazines from what I understand, and there are definitely some other differences which I won't get into in this video. But if you've been interested in some kind of an AK-based semi-auto 12-gauge shotgun, this might be the one that you want to get into, especially for the price they're going for right now, which is very, very good. It's got a lot of great features on it and some drawbacks, and I'll get to those throughout the review here. One of the key things people will talk about when it comes to a semi-auto shotgun is reliability. How does it do with different types of rounds, whether they be buckshot, whether they be birdshot, whether they be slugs? How's it going to cycle? Does it cycle them well? What that really comes down to is getting your gas setting correct. There's a gas tube setting right here at the front where you can adjust for either high pressure or low pressure loads. And if you have that setting set correctly, you'll pretty much always have some good reliability. If you're not having the reliability you want, go ahead and adjust that gas. You'll probably get some good reliability from the gun. A little chewed up right there. An interesting feature on the Fury II is this rail right here on the bottom of the gas block. I could see some kind of a light being mounted there and being used in either a home defense or some other kind of security situation, being able to access that pretty quickly. That's a great placement for it and good use of the gas block in my opinion. While we're looking at the gas block, you can see that there's our front sight, which is not too far from our rear sight right here. Not a big span, only about 8 or 9 inches, if that. However, I haven't had too much trouble getting on target with it, and it is a shotgun. You can clearly tell that we've got some Picatinny rail on top of the dust cover as well. My dust cover came a little bit shaky. You can hear that. A little disappointing. What that means is I'm not going to be able to get a really solid mount on top of that. It is hinged, so if I get it high enough or far enough forward, perhaps that will limit the motion and make it so that, I don't know, the red dot actually works. But given that it kind of wiggles around there at the back, I probably wouldn't use a red dot on this particular gun. Potentially good round to stock up on Suprema double-aught buck. The Fury II comes standard with sling attachment points. You can see that you can wrap your sling around here, attach that at the back, as well as clip it in at this little ring here at the front on the gas block. That's really cool because that means you can wear this in sort of a military or tactical fashion just like this. Have it in that sort of low ready to go kind of a situation. In the initial video that I did with this gun, I talked about the trigger and its position in relation to the safety. It's kind of a downside for this gun, at least in its stock configuration. You can make some changes to that if you spend a little bit of money and a little bit of time, but in its stock configuration, it's kind of an awkward setup. You've basically got to move your hand completely off of that grip and bring it way forward like this in order to disengage that safety before you can bring it back, re-engage that grip, and then take your shot. It's not really the best position for those parts, in my opinion. However, you do get into the gun for a pretty affordable price, and really you can make do with that as it is. Just gotta kind of spend some time on it and practice. Here's a look at the cleaning kit that comes with the gun. You've obviously got a big bristly brush up there. It feels like some kind of a polymer. You can unscrew that right there from the handle right here. And these pieces also unscrew. They've got these little tips on them that will screw off to create one long, basically rod that you can then clean out your barrel with. Clever little kit here. It's all encompassing and comes with the gun. Changing out the choke on your Catamount Fury II is actually a pretty easy job. It comes with 3 chokes. The one that's on here right now is actually the cylinder choke, which means there is no actual choking being done. It's marked CL right there. Not sure if you can see it. Again, there are 2 other chokes that it comes with. It comes with a full choke, which is marked with an F right there. And it also comes with a modified choke, marked with an M right there. Replacing the choke on this gun is actually a pretty easy job. I'm going to remove the cylinder choke on there right now with the use of this tool right here that came with the cleaning kit. You just put that down in here like that. Use it kind of like a wrench. Other direction. There you go. Loosens up. And comes right out. We'll replace that with the full choke right here. Crank it down with that wrench. It's pretty good and tight. And that's it, your choke is changed.
Dude, you decapitated it.
I think the stock is pretty good for the most part, even the cheek piece right here. The downside to this cheek piece, at least the one on this gun, is that that screw has pretty much come unthreaded, and this whole front side of that wants to fall off. That's a downside. I don't know if it's going to be that way chronically, but at least my sample ended up with a cheek piece that wants to fall off. A couple other features that make this gun unique and interesting include this bolt release switch right here. Sends your rounds home if you just barely put a magazine in. Also, the bolt catch button right down here. You lock that or pull that back, hold that button down, and it locks the slide back. So if you're in a training situation, you need to set your gun down on a rack with a bunch of other guns or something like that, you can easily lock your slide back or lock your bolt back and make sure that gun is safe. I'd love to criticize this polymer magwell here, but really I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I've seen some stress testing on some of the other polymer magwells on other guns from Century Arms. They've held up really well. They're tough. I don't expect you'll have any problems with that magwell. It's worth noting also that this magwell makes it so that you don't have to rock the magazines in as you would with other AK type weapons. Instead, you push it straight in like you would with an AR-15 or M16. The magazine release is right there behind the magwell. In order to eject that magazine, you would push that magazine release in, then grab your magazine and basically pull it out. Fit and finish on the gun overall appears to be pretty good. We appear to have a kind of a parkerized finish on all the metal parts. The polymer seems to be nice and flat and matte and good looking, and pretty good and ergonomic as well. Overall, it seems like a well put together gun. If you're a recreational shooter and you just want a fun gun, this one's kind of a no-brainer. It's a good price, it's a lot of fun, it seems to be plenty reliable with all the rounds that I've put through it, and I'd say it's a pretty versatile gun as well. If you want a home defense shotgun, I could definitely see this one in that role, especially with the potential for a red dot up here and a flashlight up there. I could see this gun performing really well in maybe a tactical shotgun class. One thing that might be a little frustrating is if you're switching between birdshot, buckshot, and slugs, and maybe throughout the class, you have to keep changing that gas setting to low gas or high gas in order to compensate for the different types of rounds that you're using. If you can put up with that though, I'm sure it would do great for any kind of a tactical shotgun class. The gun is chambered to handle 12 gauge 2 3/4 and 3-inch shells, and I have confirmed tonight that those all work pretty darn well through the gun. The Fury II comes standard with one 10-round magazine and two 5-round magazines. Additional 5-rounders and 10-rounders are available on the market, and they're not too badly priced either. Century Arms did send me this gun for testing and review. It's been a lot of fun to play with. It's a little worse for wear for the testing that I've done with it. And you know, I've been pretty tempted to keep it. Tempted, but not quite sold. That's my review. I'm the Late Boy Scout. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
What we're doing today is